We often ask ourselves, is there life beyond life? Is there life beyond our consciousness? Is there life after death? And is it possible to turn everything back, to return to ourselves? This is the story of Susan Williams.
My name is Susan Williams. I'm 62 now, but when the event that changed my life happened, I was 35. It was the fall of 1998. I lived in Lexington, Kentucky, all by myself. I was unmarried and lived for myself, and it seemed to me that this was the right way. Everything I did felt right. Only occasionally did I have thoughts that I was almost always alone, and even when I wasn't alone, the feeling of loneliness never left me. I wanted to get home faster. This life, the people around me, my work, they all felt somehow foreign to me. Well, should I change something? Maybe what I was missing was determination, or maybe understanding. But why? What's there to change? So life went on, just like it always had, like yesterday, like every day. My job was just an ordinary office job. The only thing that truly brought me joy was my horse, Cactus, a gift from my old Uncle James from Texas. Cactus. Funny name, isn't it? But that name truly matched his character. It was August, a Saturday. The sun was shining that day. As usual, I hurried after breakfast to the farm to ride. That day was no different from any other. I arrived at the farm, met Cactus, and we set off for a ride in Red River Gorge. Those who know this place understand the enchanting, magical nature of it. I was riding through the woods along the river, enjoying the silence of the summer forest far from the noise of the city. We, as always, spent the whole day riding until sunset. Suddenly, my Cactus started acting restless. He was tossing his head and snorting loudly. I didn't understand what was happening. I tried to calm him down, but it seemed like the horse wasn't listening to me and was even getting angry. I didn't understand what was happening. At one point, he bolted and started running fast. I tried to hold on tightly to the saddle. Despite having 15 years of riding experience, I couldn't hold on and fell. And then, darkness. I don't know where I saw the soft light, reminding me of the distant light of the sun in an evening forest, when sunbeams lazily filter through tree branches, and then a bright light. I was drawn to that light. In the distance, I saw a small figure. As I got closer, I realized it was a little girl, about 6 years old. She wasn't laughing or crying. She was calm and gently smiling at me. It felt like I asked her, "Who are you?" But the girl remained silent, and only through her blue eyes did I understand that it was me. Although she was silent, I saw she wanted to tell me something very important and necessary. I didn't know how to ask her, as she simply stayed silent. I just took her hand and we began to walk. As we walked, I felt a warm, peaceful sensation throughout my body. I don't know what it was, but it felt like we were speaking without words. We just walked and stayed silent. Step by step, I began to understand how truly lonely I was. Not alone, because I had a few acquaintances, colleagues at work, and after all, my horse. But still I was lonely, with no one to give my deep love to, no one to share my heart with when I desperately needed it. Except for my Cactus, there was no one to care for every day, no one to wipe away tears, to make happy, no one to prepare breakfast for and share the smell of vanilla rolls with coffee. I was living a lonely, useless life that probably didn't even interest anyone. Then I asked myself, if something were to happen to me, would anyone search for me? Would anyone be upset? Who would that person be? But I never found an answer because that person simply didn't exist. And what will remain after me? And that's when I understood that this was the answer, the reason I was here. and why I met my little self. It was like being forced to look at myself from the outside. Besides me, there was no one. I wasn't giving my love to anyone. We stopped and looked at each other. I saw that a small, bright tear was rolling down little Susan's cheek. Her eyes seemed to ask me, "Will you go on with me?" But I felt I didn't want to go on. It felt like there was something I hadn't finished yet, something left undone. In that moment, I realized that I wanted to walk through the forest like this, hand in hand with someone very close to me, talking or even silent, but walking and feeling that someone was near, that I was needed by someone, that I needed someone. We smiled at each other, and as if saying goodbye, understood that someday, when the time came, we would meet again. You might ask, what did I feel? What were those sensations like? Could I feel my body? Was there any sense of time? Well, let me tell you everything in order. So what did I feel? Was it anxiety? No. Fear? I didn't feel fear either. What I felt was a mix of calm and a gentle sadness. Calm, because the closest person to me was right there, and that person was me. I felt support from my past self. There was no judgment, no contempt, no looking down on me. Just the sense that the time had come, the time to make a choice about where to go next. To keep going down the same road, just as it is, and die slowly each day in loneliness, in disharmony with myself, or to change the course of my life and try to live differently, to find harmony, to find myself, to truly hear myself, my heart, my desires, to find people I could call my own, to gain freedom from social prejudice, judgment, and misunderstanding, to learn how to live guided by both heart and reason, to no longer fear change or a new path, to no longer fear judgmental eyes or whispered opinions. There's a magical saying, happiness loves silence. Have you ever stopped to think what that really means? This phrase can be interpreted in different ways, but to me, its main message is this: you should create your happiness quietly, in the way that feels right to you, because it's your happiness. It's not the happiness of your girlfriends or friends who see it differently, nor your relatives or your coworkers. You don't need to shout about your happiness. You don't need to discuss it. You don't need to tell everyone about your dreams and plans, because there's always someone who, even without meaning to, can ruin so much. People love giving advice left and right, forgetting that it's not their life, it's someone else's. And only that person has the right to decide which path to follow, even if they make mistakes along the way. Maybe we need to view our mistakes as valuable experiences, experiences that will help us get things right later and find our true path. And if you've already found that path, why would you need approval or correction from others? Go on, don't stop. Walk, guided by your heart and your mind. I felt a flow of thoughts, one interrupting the other. I wanted to say and explain so much to myself, and you might ask, why was there sadness? Yes, I felt a slight sadness because I remembered the time that slipped away, like sand running through your fingers when you hold it in your palms. I understood that the past cannot be returned. I realized that time cannot be turned back. Time can't be replaced or lived again. But still, I was happy that I had it. I felt that this is not the end. This is definitely not the end. Something will surely come, because I started having dreams, and dreams, that's hope. And if a person has hope, they will live. That's how I felt. But what were my feelings like? No, I didn't feel death. It wasn't like I was just wandering somewhere at the end of my path. No, I wasn't afraid that I had died. It was more like a dream, or maybe even oblivion, in which I had forgotten, stopped, to erase all the destructive thoughts from my mind. I just felt calm from the awareness of what was happening. I didn't understand what had happened to me. I didn't understand how I ended up here. But honestly, it didn't bother or worry me. It was as if I had just gone for a walk and all of this happened to me in some magical way. I didn't torture myself with the question, how did I end up here? Not at all. It was as though I was really dreaming. Yes, probably the best way to describe my state. As for my body, no, I didn't feel any pain. I didn't feel my body. It was something else, completely indescribable, unlike anything. It was as though I was outside of my body. There was lightness. And what about time? I didn't feel time at all. I wasn't in a hurry. I didn't understand time. I didn't know how long it had been since I met little Susan. Time seemed to stop. It wasn't rushing forward. It was as if time was giving me time. Time for thoughts. Time to be alone with myself. Only when we silently said goodbye, I felt that now I had to leave. Leave back to where I came from where it all started. That's how I saw everything. That's what was happening to me. I woke up in the hospital. As it turned out, I had been in the hospital for a week, though it felt like just a moment to me. My life moved on, but it had changed. I had changed. I no longer wanted to go to a job that brought me no joy. So I moved from the city center to the outskirts, closer to nature. I left my job and started working on a horse farm where my cactus was. I began doing what I loved. I stopped searching for loneliness and began to connect more with people who, like me, had their horses at the farm. One day, while working at the stable, cleaning it for a new pet, John, the owner of the farm, called me. I turned around and saw that John was talking to a stranger. I approached them. It was William, my future husband, the future father of my 2 beautiful daughters. And as you can imagine, from that moment on, my life changed completely. William proposed to me 6 months later, and 9 months after that, our first daughter, little Ashley, was born, and then Jessica. I've often thought back to that incredible encounter with myself, the little, tender girl who taught me to live again, to think and feel in a new way. I still ask myself, what was that? Was it a dream? Or perhaps the play of my mind? Or was it the truest life within life? Maybe it was the death of my past life, giving me a chance to start over, to begin life with a clean slate, to go back to the past in order to build a future, to die in order to be reborn? My name is Susan Williams. I'm 62 years old. Today I'm a happy wife, mother, and grandmother. And this is my story.
We often ask ourselves, is there life beyond life? Is there life beyond our consciousness? Is there life after death? And is it possible to turn everything back, to return to ourselves? Perhaps the answer lies in the idea that life and death are intertwined, like 2 inseparable sisters, both giving and taking. They are always so close, yet so far apart. What happened to Susan? Perhaps it was just a dream, or maybe death itself, disguised as a little girl, wanted to give her one more chance to find happiness before her true departure. What is life and what is death? These 2 are forever linked. They give and they take. Sometimes it feels like they are right here with us, and other times they seem impossibly distant. After this experience, Susan believes that beyond our consciousness, and perhaps even after death, there is a new life. But what that life will be like, and who will meet us there, depends on how we live our lives here on earth. Look around you. Look at yourself and those around you. Appreciate this life, today, and every moment. Follow your feelings. Pursue what you desire. as long as it harms no one. When your heart and mind are in harmony, they will always show you the right path. And always listen to the beating of your heart. It will never lie to you. Sometimes it is best to stop and take a deep breath, to inhale a new gulp of life, and slowly move forward. And perhaps walk down a completely different road. But sometimes you need to burst forth and run with all your might, leaving the past behind so a new door can open in the present. But the choice is yours to make. It's up to you.